popularly known to so many. He's going to introduce himself. Anajulikana kama mzee wa kazi, mzee mchapa kazi, jamaa wa kazi, representing county 001. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you, my brother.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, and thank you for this opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
It's been really long. It's been really a very long time not seeing you, bro. You're very busy.
I'm very busy.
Haushikiki ndugu yangu.
Yeah, kwa sababu we are doing advocacy,
right,
so that we can see that a person's disability voices are heard,
right,
within the Mombasa and Kenya at large.
Amazing, amazing. So mahali si uanzia huwa ni pale kwenye introduction. To maybe our listener who is getting you for the first time, yes, right here inside Blue Radio Kenya. Who'd love to know who you are and what you do.
Thank you so much. Can I speak English or Kiswahili?
Unaweza changanya.
Asante sana.
Right.
All right, maridadi kabisa. Kwa wale wasikilizaji wapendwa wa Blue Radio, jina langu ni Faisal Oketch Abdallah, na jina maarufu katika Mombasa County 001 watu wanapenda kuniita MC Mlachake. Na vile vile mimi ndio rais ya watu wenye ulemavu katika Mombasa County. Na vile vile mimi ndio mwenyekiti katika zile shirika zote za watu wenye ulemavu ambayo tunaita katika lugha ya ungenge ama lugha ya mayai, OPDs, Organization for Persons with Disability. And kazi yangu ni kuadvocate. Mimi ni mtetezi ya watu wenye ulemavu katika Mombasa, kuhakikisha kwamba zile sera ambazo zipo zimetekelezwa vilivyo. All right, thank you so much.
Interesting. Faisal Oketch right here, ladies and gentlemen. Faisal Oketch Abdallah, the president himself for persons with disability, Mombasa County 001. Mheshimiwa, umekula sana hiyo ofisi. Miaka mingapi sahi?
Sahi ni kama na miaka 3.
Ukikula tu hiyo ofisi.
Na ila tu mdogo.
You're listening to Blue Radio, bringing the vibe.
All right. Karibu tena sana Blue Radio Kenya. Thank you so much for making up time one more time.
Thank you so much.
I'm really happy to see you. Niambia huko nje kunaendaje huko nje?
Huko nje mambo ni mengi.
Right.
Na vitu ambavyo tulikuwa tukifikiria.
Right.
Sivyo. Kila siku nasema bwana, tukiwa kule darasani, wacha nianze na uhondo kidogo.
Right.
Tukiwa kule darasani,
right,
kuna jamaa alikuwa anatuandika majina kama noise makers. Na vile Mwenyezi Mungu ni wa ajabu na dunia pia ni ndogo.
Right.
Sasa kazi yake ni apige kelele ndio apate riziki yake. So yani kazi yake ni kupiga kelele, lakini sisi alikuwa tuandika ili tuchapwe. Unaona vile unaona hayo?
You're listening to Blue Radio.
Here many touch, here many hit, here many slap left, right and center.
Thank you so much.
Let's just go straight to our topic of today.
Yes.
Being Sgap.
Yes.
Sgap meaning strengthening governance, advocacy, and protection,
yes,
of rights of persons with disabilities.
Yes.
And of course, as the president, County 001,
yeah,
for the PWDs, and we just have this a new national act to maybe someone who is in that someone who is having that special need, mwenye hajui anything to do with this new national act for persons with disabilities. Can you take us through a little bit about it?
Yes, thank you so much. First and foremost, let me thank our nominated senator,
right,
for doing a very tremendous job to ensure that we have a functioning act, that we also say Allah, Alhamdulillah, that our able president, Dr. William Samoei Ruto,
right,
already placed his sign and also the seal of Kenya,
right,
meaning this is now something legit for every institution in this Kenya to start working on it. The act is very nice to us. We know very well that the Constitution of Kenya 2010 give us the mandate. When we read at the Constitution Article 54,
right,
says that a persons with disability should be treated in a manner that is not demeaning. That when you start demeaning us, oppressing us, that is wrong to us. And right, the Constitution give us that mandate. And another thing, that Constitution give us 5% of employment, appointees, opportunities that may be, understand the word may,
right,
may be given into the county government, national government, that we must be participating and giving a chance to play so. So this act is giving that mandate because they have not had this implementation act framework.
Right.
And this one is going to emphasize that we are going to see all department, all private sector, all factories,
right,
wherever who can employ a person's ability must be given is 5%. Even I'm very proud to say this, that we are going to start in a very high note,
right,
by understanding and making some maps to see what are the opportunities, job opportunities that we have, and do we have personal stability within. When we come to Mombasa, we know it is very good for tourism sector.
Right.
We have a lot of hotels. Do we have personal stability employed in these hotels? No. So they are going to start doing this. So it is our mandate now as the leaders to see how we are going to bring all these heads together and tell them that now it is a mandatory. It's not a request to us.
Right.
That a person's stability must be given a chance to participate so that they can also have their daily bread on the table. We don't need people to look at us, and when you look at a person's ability, what comes to your mind is this is coming to back. No, we have opportunity. Just give us just chance, then we will see what we can do.
Right.
This also can also give us this act that we know very well that a person's ability is also exempted from tax. This is very good for us. We are exempted from tax. Interesting.
Right.
And you know very well that in the Kenya of today, tax, everybody is crying.
Right.
But because of this bill, we are exempted from paying tax. It's only that you have your employment letters, you go to the e-citizen, you open your account, then you apply for the exemption of the tax.
Right.
Next, this one also going to give us another strong, because you know very well when you want to buy something outside the country,
right,
you must pay duty. And this one emphasized that a person's ability is duty free.
Interesting. You are exempted from the excise duty.
Yes, we are meaning that when you want to buy something, you are going just to pay the exact amount, right, of that commodity. When it's $1 million, just pay $1 million. The rest, government has do away with it or waived for us, because they understand that when a person's ability can have a little money and want to buy something, he has already struggled to have this money. So it is also going to be a burden to them to add this taxes to us. Right. So it is also nice to us. And it's now because I'm very happy calling me today, so that the Kenya as all, because I know even the people in the US, right, are listening to us, right, that we as the Organization for Persons with Disability, OPDs, in the conjunction with the National Councils for Persons with Disability, right, that is our big office. We need to sit down and have that act and see how we want the common mwananchi to understand this act within the village they are coming from. Because we need the government to have some resources for us so that we can do community sensitization, right, community dialogues, so that a person's ability, wherever they are, right, they should understand that they have an act and they know or they understand what the act says about them. We don't want to be just few to understand this. No, we are going not to be joining or to be trusted with the other community. Right. So it is our mandate to see how we are going to collect or look for resources and start community dialogue, community sensitization for persons with ability to understand this. And also, it's also another mandate to organizations, civil organizations, right, CSOs, that they must come on board to understand and help us to do this sensitization, because we know we have organization for the community, that they should also know what is in it and how we can disseminate it. We use the language disseminate. Yes, right, so that they can understand in all languages. We have brailles, we have sign language, we have audio, because we have different types of disability. So we want this document to be given in all type, so that a person with VI, right, can only just tap with the braille, right, understand what is in it. Right. A person with visually impaired can listen to the voice or when somebody talks. Right. You see? So that I'm not going to say that because of my disability, I was excluded. We want to be included. Understand, right, those words? Right. Yeah. So that nobody will say I was left behind. This journey, I'm going to call it Leave No One Behind. Leave No One Behind. So that we can understand all what is in the act.
Amazing. Na mimi napenda venye unachapa kazi pale kwenye ground.
Shukran.
The work is speaking for itself.
Yeah.
Unaambiwa siku zote wewe chapa tu kazi. Don't even mind who is seeing you,
who is looking for you.
Right.
No. Yeah.
But
Waswahili usema,
right,
kizuri chajeuza,
Right.
kibaya chajitembeza.
Right, and I'm loving how you're representing Mombasa County when it comes to your office and the role you're playing.
Thank you
it's
so
a
much.
very, very big role, and I believe Mombasa County will never ever get a leader in that office like the one and only Faisal
Inshallah.
Oketch Abdallah. So from the new national act and to straight to Sgap, strengthening governance, advocacy and protection, what really maybe inspired the creation of this project Sgap? Can you tell us something a bit about it?
Thank you so much. The Sgap is a short form
Right.
of strengthening governance, advocacy and protection for persons with disability. And this project comes because we understand that we have different types of disability.
Right.
We have different types of groups of disability, and they also have registered groups. And we said, and we looked, when we were looking around, walking around, I realized that these groups have no structures
Right.
in terms of leadership, in terms of documentation. So when I look at it, we requested funds so that we can also strengthen, because we have an organization called Likoni Ability Network.
Right.
This is a network that brings all the organizations for persons with disability under one roof.
Interesting.
So we wanted to strengthen this organization so that they have all required document, staffing, so that when there's an issue, they go for that issue, they bring it home and do dissemination to the members.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we knew that this organization does not have anything in terms of structure,
Right.
advocacy skills, advocacy strengthening, or strategy. We call it SP. They don't have.
Right.
So we want to strengthen this organization so that they can have all these policies. We have policies so that any donor
Right.
can come and you apply through writing proposals, then you can be given funds to implement some projects within the community. For you to be given this, you must have documents. You must have an office. You must have staffing. Must have policies
Right.
that give you guideline on how you want to operate.
Right.
You must have financial manuals that many organizations do not have. So this project is going to understand, or is to make a mandate that this organization called Likoni Ability Network will have all these documents, all these policies, all the staffing, so that they can start looking for resources and see how they can also do economic empowerment for persons with disability in Mombasa, so that we want to raise our standard of living. We don't want to see people at Kenya Ferry begging, because when you look at people in Kenya Ferry,
Right.
90% persons with
Disability. Right.
What can we do for them? So
Right.
that whoever want to go to school, let's take back to the school. Whoever
Right.
want to do business, let's look what kind of business can they do so that we can support them. Because it is very demeaning, very disappointing.
Right.
Looking at people with disability begging from one corner to another, begging from one corner to another. Let me give you an example.
Right.
Some 4 years back, I was in Kisauni.
Right.
When I boarded Matatu, when I entered into Matatu,
Right.
someone gave me 50 shillings. I asked him why? Because the mentality that people has, that when you look for a person's disability, when they come close to you,
Right.
they need to beg. Not minding that even somebody may be having money than you.
Right.
And because of the mental that the community has created,
The narrative. Right.
towards the person's disability, it's very bad. So we want to change the narrative.
We tell them disability is
Is
not
not
inability. Amazing. As we continue talking about Sgap,
Yeah.
could you please just take us through some of the core values of the Sgap project?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother. And the core values that we are going to look at, I always say that we are going to look at a Likoni Ability Network. This is an organization that brings all the OPDs. The meaning of OPDs means Organization for Persons with Disability under one umbrella.
Right.
And we are going to do something called OCA. OCA is organization assessment, that we are going to see that the organization have that strength to have advocacy skills to manage and bring all the disability under one roof and manage them to advocate for their rights. That's number one. Number two, we are going to identify the gaps
Right.
that the Likoni Ability Network has, so that they can be strengthened in terms of policy formulation, in terms of the manuals, in terms of the staffing, so that they can have that mandate and have that skills on maintaining and running the organization. Number 2, as you say that we are doing advocacy, what are the strategies that we are going to use to do advocacy?
Right.
In this project, we have online advocacy. We are going to see how can we engage persons with disability online in terms of their rights, dissemination of the rights that they know. And number 2, we are going to look how we are going to strengthen TWG. My brother, do you know the meaning of TWG?
Take me through.
Technical Working Group.
Technical Working Group. Interesting.
TWG. We are going to ensure that we bring the persons with disability who are expert so that they can be trained on the TWG, so that they are going to be the champions.
Interesting.
And we are going to also to know and to support Mombasa human rights defenders for persons with disability, so that they can also be taken through this act, taken through the policies, so that they can also be going out to echo the voices of the young people with disability wherever there's any discrimination, any violence, because we know very well that persons with disability can be violated, but because of the language barrier they cannot speak out, meaning a person with hearing impaired can be violated with the husband, can be violated with anybody in the community, but when they go to the police station to explain this language barrier, the police officer do not understand sign language. So meaning when something like this happened to these people, they don't even need to go to report, because they don't know how to start, because nobody will understand them. All we will see, somebody can ask, a police officer can ask them, did you hear them? And automatically this is an hearing impaired. You see? So this is also an irony, so that we are going to also to see how we are going to do sensitization to even the administration, so that they can understand us, how they can do, so that even 5% of the officers can also be trained on sign language, so that when a person with hearing impaired get into the police station, can get and talk or report any matters that has given or make them to be in that position. You see? So it is very necessary that this project is going to see how we are going to look at that, and we are going also to develop a strategic advocacy space for persons with disability. Which tool? We are going to develop a tool that is going to mandate us and to give us directions on how to do our advocacy.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So as we continue, maybe would you just maybe let us know about some of the most pressing rights violations that persons with disability face today?
Number 1, the oppressing the rights that persons with disability sees even right now. 99.99% of the community where we live do not want a person's ability to seduce or to be seduced.
To seduce or to be seduced?
Yes.
When
a person's ability goes and seduce a lady, the lady will not look at that person with his ability. Whatever the lady will look at is disability, which is wrong. So this is our right. We must mingle. We must get married. They must get married. But when even right now, when just a handsome boy get a person's ability want to marry, the community, the family will tell him, so mwanangu, ulitembea kote ukaona hiki. Unaona hiyo discrimination, oppression, ukaona hiki. Understand the word? Hiki. Sio mtu.
Ni mtu.
Hiyo ni right yetu ambayo watu wengi hatutaki.
The right to seduce and to be seduced. Of course, they are our sisters, they are our brothers, they are our parents. You understand? There was one sister, I would love her to be with us here today, but quite unfortunately she's not around. It would be really interesting hearing from her, but I told her the president will be around and she was really interested joining this conversation. But meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, in case you want to join us in this conversation, remember we are live in our social media handles, Blue Radio Kenya, every social media platform. And of course, MC Wodanita is my sweet and amazing name. This is gear number 2, the 3 p.m. hour, our exclusive listening party, our interview hour. Of course, this is the president himself, Mr. His Excellency Faisal Oketch Abdallah. All right, so tukiendelea pengine Mr. President. Najua kuna so many our brothers and sisters who are in this kind of who are having this kind of this same case, right? Persons living with disability.
Persons with disability. Yes. What
would be your word for them today?
Before I get to there, I was talking about rights.
Right.
Let me name others.
Right.
I just started with the right of seduce and to be
seduced
or to get married.
Interesting.
Tuendelee.
Right.
Another the right that is very, very vital to us is a right to health.
Right to health.
It is very demeaning that when you get into the health facilities, the health facilities themselves is not disability friendly.
Right.
Meaning accessing is a problem.
Right.
Another thing, when you get into the facility, a person with disability is expectant.
Right.
The nurse can even ask them, sasa wewe ujionee huruma.
Right.
Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Right.
A person with disability is expectant.
Right.
Going to deliver.
Right.
For the service of delivery.
Right.
Then the nurse who's supposed to attend to them may ask them, wewe ujihurumii?
Right.
Na nani alikufanyia hivi?
Right.
You see?
Right.
Meaning a person with disability does not have a right to have sex.
Right.
They have. Number two, when they walk into these facilities,
right,
do we have interpreters?
We don't.
So a person with hearing impaired get into the facility, he has a stomachache, does not know how to explain. When they're explaining to the doctor feels, huyu ama ni mimba inaanza.
Right.
Go home. You see? Right. Without giving any medication.
Right.
Or the doctor can give wrong medication because of the language barrier. So these are the things that are oppressing us.
Right.
That we must look at how we are going to. Nowadays, I told persons with disability that we want to talk to each other.
Right.
We don't want to talk at each other.
We want to talk to each other.
We don't want to talk at
each other.
You know, you understand the difference.
Right.
We are now stopping complaining. Persons with disability should stop complaining right now.
Right.
When there's a problem, let's sit down and look at the problem and have the solution. Because complaining a lot will also make others to feel as that we are arrogant. And we are not arrogant. The right to education. The right to
education. You will see
the system is already discriminated persons with disability. Because you will find our schools are yani wamewekwa hii ni ya wasiongea. Hao ni walemavu wa viungo. Hao ni CP, cerebral palsy. Hao ni nini? Unaona vile tunatengwa?
Right.
Hivi ni kwa masomo.
Right.
Kwa nini tusisome na wenzetu?
Right.
So that's why when you look at one of the objective of Likoni Ability Network, right, we have something called inclusive education. Inclusive education. So that when you get into any facility, any educational institution, you can get knowledge. Even the universities we have, they are not included. When a person with disability is hearing, they are being told to hire their own interpreter.
Right.
Because the institution cannot employ an interpreter. Is that not expensive to us? It's very expensive.
Right.
That's right to education. And you will find 99% of the teachers who are going for the special education, they're not going there so that they can help us. They're going there because of the top up of the salaries.
Right.
The top up of the
salaries.
That's why they're going there. And you will find that when you walk into some schools, even the student can tell you that we don't understand this teacher.
Right.
So it is very, very bad to us because education is the light. And when you cannot get it at the foundation level properly, meaning we in the top, we are going to die. So it is necessary for us to look at how we can make education inclusive.
Right.
Inclusive education.
Interesting.
To all institutions.
Sorry.
Right. From zero to top. Meaning from chekechea, primary, secondary, university, colleges, so that a person with disability can also go to any college, any university,
right,
and get the right education.
Right.
so that they can come up here and help.
Beautiful.
Are you understanding this?
Right.
Social interaction. Social
interaction.
If you look at all these houses that are being built, they are not accessible to persons with disability.
Right.
Meaning even when somebody want to build an renting house, they don't think that a person with disability can come and live here. The doors are very small.
Right.
The toilets are not inclusive. You see?
Right.
So these are the very vital rights that we shall start looking at the grassroots before going to the app. Because accessing even your own bedroom and you are paying rent is another disaster to others.
Right.
Because we have a person with disability who cannot walk the way I'm walking. They must use something called assistive devices.
Absolutely.
Like wheelchair, tricycle. And when you look at the tricycles, they cannot. The door is too small. The tricycle cannot move around.
Right.
You see?
Right.
So it is oppressing these people and making them to feel very difficult in their own houses and their pain.
Right.
So it is very not good to us. We need to do more. But what I want to tell anybody listening to us, that where we are is not where we were.
Right.
We have made a very huge steps and improvement in terms of policy, in terms of advocacy, in terms of dissemination of information. The persons with disability are now empowered, but not yet where we want to see ourselves. Thank you.
Amazing. Faisal, Oketch, Abdallah, ladies and gentlemen, right here inside DJ's Arena exclusive listening party. Of course, this is our third hour. Naona pale tumeingia 4 p.m. hour pale, gear number 3. And of course, I'm having my special guest DJ on the ones and twos, setting the pace for your weekend, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Remember, I'm having a DJ Gills in the building for you. So don't forget to keep sending your requests. And my special guest DJ Gills will be playing them for you right here at the top of the hour. So maybe as we continue, my good brother, Mr. President.
Yes.
We have the 47 county governments.
Yeah.
We have the non-governmental organizations.
Yes.
And we also have the media houses.
Yeah.
So how are you looking forward to ensuring that all these media houses, NGOs, and the 47 county governments, how are you looking forward to making sure that the new national act is fully exhausted and the message gets to the grassroots to that very person with the disability?
Thank you so much for that critical and vital question to me. Number one, all 47 counties must adopt. It's not just a request.
It's not an option.
It's not a request.
Right.
It is mandatory that all 47 counties must adopt this act, and they should also form their policies that is going to domesticate. Understand the word that? To domesticate whatever is in the act to be in this act. So that we call them disability mainstreaming policies.
Right.
Then they pass it, they bring it to the bill, then it comes to the act. So that this one is going to help the county government to allocate resources during the implementation and allocations of funds for functioning within the departments. You understand that all county government, all counties,
right,
they have almost 11 departments. All departments within all counties must allocate resources to all department or sectors for persons with disability. Number 2, the county government 47 must have a vocal person for persons with disability within the county government in the office of the governor.
The whistleblower.
The whistleblower.
Right.
Direct from the office of the governor.
Interesting.
Advisor. So that they can also, governor should know what to do and how and why and when. Very important.
Right.
We are going to see and to look at how we are going to do that. Number 2, the organizations, we call them civil society organization.
Right.
CSOs. We know very well that they are advocating for the rights for anybody in the county, in the country, in the nation, in the continent, we need their support fully so that they can also support us to echo this act.
Right.
I know they write proposals. I want them to have that proposal written. Then they have a location for community sensitization on Persons with Disability Act.
Right.
They have community dialogues. So they call upon persons with disability within their jurisdictions.
Right.
To understand this.
Amazing.
To social media radios. All radios in Kenya. Number one being Blue.
Right.
Because today we are starting this conversation at Blue.
At Blue Radio Kenya.
They should also have even 10 minutes.
Right.
Talking about act. Meaning, what do I say? You should have that act, go through it. So when you do your things, you tap 1.
Right.
You do your things, you tap 2.
Right.
So that you also help us to understand. So that you disseminate this information to the community and to the persons with disability. The act is for persons with disability, but everybody should understand this act so that when you violate it, you know the consequences.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. So last but not least, I can check on my time. We are running out of time. But before I let you go, His Excellency, Mr. President, last but not least, where do you see Sgap in the next 5 years?
I'm seeing Sgap doing a tremendous job.
Right.
Because the Sgap is supported by an organization called Protection International Africa.
Protection International Africa.
And Sgap is being supported for the first phase for 6 months.
Beautiful.
And for this first 6 months, they want to see that organization stand with the policies, with the strategy, with the formation of the TWG. Remember what I told you, TWG are technical working groups.
Right.
Strategy of advocacy. So when the 6 months gone, and these things are in order, now that organization has another mandate
right.
to request that now the house is full with all the documentation that you needed. So we need extension so that we start our job immediately.
Right.
Because I want the community for persons with disability to understand this act. And I'm very happy for our nominated senator.
Right.
For doing this job. At the moment, she's not around. Yuko Maju.
Right.
Na ameenda kuzungumzia kwa ajili yetu.
Right.
I'll just talk to her.
Right.
Direct through social media, Facebook account.
Interesting.
And blessings, amenipa Mlachake, you are my blessings.
Mlachake, pokea blessings.
Senator.
Right.
Asante sana kwa kazi yako safi.
Beautiful.
Na mimi nakuiga. Na Mwenyezi Mungu akitujalia, tunataka hizi houses tukuwe na walemavu zaidi ya 4. Right. Unamaanisha nini? Walemavu tunataka wasimame, wapigiwe kura, ili tukiongeza na yule ambaye amekuwa nominated, wanakuwa 4 watatu. Kazi inakuwa rahisi.
Right.
Na tuko ndani na tutahakikisha ya kwamba how can we also form, my brother, I want to listen to this.
Right.
How can we also form a disability academy? A disability
academy
in terms of governance only, so that we can also, we want to shape this person's ability so that when they go into the houses, they know what they are going to do.
Right.
And we are going to see how we can convince the register of parties to give us the mandate that we are the people who should say that in this ward or this county we are going to nominate X for this house, and that one we are going to, because the parties are playing with our minds.
Right.
They don't give us the right people to represent us in these houses.
Right.
Because only the party have that mandate to nominate. But we want that power to be given to organizations for persons with disability.
Right.
So that we can nominate somebody who is educated, knowledgeable, and when they got there, they can understand what is the policy. How can we understand policy? How is the policy being formed? What
right.
are the steps? And after step, what next? You see?
Right.
So we are going to see. And it's also another advocacy that we want to do.
Right.
To have a disability academy to shape our people in terms of governance and advocacy. Thank you so much.
Amazing. So last but not least, now because of time, are there any plans to maybe replicate this project, the Sgap, in other regions or counties?
Thank you so much for that. Another question. Just last night I talked to our chair.
Right.
We have a chair for the CSOs Mombasa. CSOs
Mombasa.
It's called Bwana Adika.
I know about Mr.
Adika.
Right.
We talked and he told me that they're looking at how he want to take me to the assembly.
Right.
National Assembly. Because remember we wrote something and went to the assembly.
Wow.
And it was discussed.
Wow.
So we want to go there as a physically.
In person. Because things are better said in person.
Yes.
Right.
So after there, we are going to see how can we also look at other organizations who can support this initiative.
Right.
Give us resources or facilitate our movement. It will be nice. There's a very good plan that we are planning, and I'm praying to Mr. Adika, wherever he's planning for personal stability, to let him continue, because the light is there at the end of the tunnel.
Beautiful. Amazing. This one is Mr. Faisal Oketch Abdallah, ladies and gentlemen, the president for persons with a disability, county 001. Mheshimiwa, my last question for you before I let you go.
Yes.
I believe we have quite a number of persons with disabilities who are listening to us right now.
Yes.
And what message would you like to maybe share with them today?
The message I would like to share with them today.
Right.
Number one.
Right.
Let all persons with disability accept who they are.
Right.
This is a gift from God. It's not a cast. Let's accept who we are and how we are.
Right.
When you accept yourself, the first thing, when you accept, you are going to love yourself. Then when you love yourself, people around you will start loving you.
Right.
Nobody will love you if you don't love yourself. So the message, let's accept who we are. Let's accept our situation. God will change it. And I am a Muslim.
Right.
What does God says in Quran?
Right.
God says that they will not change nation, person, until they want to change themselves. Then God will give them the way. Mwenyezi Mungu anasema kwa Kiswahili.
Right.
Sitaweza kubadilisha mtu, nchi, makabila, ila ni wao wenyewe watake kujibadilisha na nitawaonyesha njia.
Wow.
Kama una tabia mbaya, Mwenyezi Mungu hawezi kufanya, ni wewe useme Mwenyezi Mungu hii tabia na iacha.
Right.
Ndio Mwenyezi Mungu anakutolea ile romba, ile pepo mbaya.
Right.
Mwenyezi Mungu nataka kitu hiki. Ni wewe useme mwenyewe kwanza. Ndio Mungu aseme huyu mtu wangu, mimi ni mtu navuta bangi.
Right.
Kwa mfano,
right.
na nataka kuacha.
Right.
Mwenyezi Mungu nataka kuacha hii bangi. Anatolea ile harufu. Sasa ile harufu hata bangi naweza kusikia mbaya. Mwenyezi Mungu, nina marafiki wabaya nataka kuwaacha.
Right.
Mwenyezi Mungu nijalie nigure.
Right.
Unaona unanegura. Right. Unaelewa?
Right.
Unatoka kwa wale ile kwa sababu ushaona kosa. Na kujua kosa ni vizuri na kukubali. Mwenyewe unaweza kujua unajua kosa na utaki kubali kosa.
Right.
So ni ujue kosa, ukubali kosa, upate msamaha ya Mungu.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa aka Mla Chake Faisal Oketch Abdallah. Ladies and gentlemen, that one now marks the end of this great and amazing conversation. Mheshimiwa, hujasalimia watu wale wawili watatu wenye walikuwa wanatusikiza bana. Pita na wawili watatu wala teketeke alafu tuanguke nayo. Pita na wale wawili watatu Mheshimiwa. Pole sana.
Asante. Kwanza namsalimia mamangu mpendwa.
Right.
Bi Zaituni Omuri Abdalla. Right. Akiwa ndani ya Mtongwe pale.
Right.
Najua wananisikiza.
Right.
Na vile kuna jirani yangu anaitwa Vivian Agunda.
Right.
Pia namsalimia pale, yuko ndani ya Mtongwe na yeye ndio landlord yetu katika ofisi zetu. Pia
wow.
namsalimia wakina Efi wakiwa ndani ya soko Mjinga.
Right.
Ndani ya Mtongwe. Wow. Yaani na walemavu wote Kenya nzima.
Wow.
Kwa sababu we are also planning, let me tell you this, we are also planning to have a movement.
Wow.
Of Kenya as a whole.
Right.
Kenya as a whole. Mla Chake is going to organize.
Wow.
Inshallah. Thank you.
Amazing. Asante sana Mheshimiwa His Excellency the President himself, Faisal Oketch Abdallah, ladies and gentlemen.
You're listening to Blue Radio, bringing the vibe.